Okay, good morning and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, October 1st. I'm the chair, Sean Flowerday. With me is Vice Chair Rick Vest and Commissioners Matt Schulte and Krista Yoakum. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, please begin.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written material discussed at today's open meeting can be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on September 24th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Abstain.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, approval of the claims processed through September 27th, 2024.
I move approval of the claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2B, a claim to El Centro de las Americas in the amount of $11,065.63.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
I'll abstain.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2C, a approval of claims including billings for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statute 23-135 for Column Software PVC dated September 30th, 2024 for a total amount of $418.74.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Best,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 3, our consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion or consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are the approval of A, amendments to the following county contracts. C-23-0847 with Felsberg Holden Olvig for engineering services related to the replacement of County Bridge J-138. C-23-0816 with VigilNet for SCRAM monitoring equipment and accessories. C-21-0725 with Midwest Alarm Services for fire alarm panel inspection, testing, and repair and replacement. C-23-0757 with Pavers Incorporated for the annual supply of cold mix asphalt. B, right-of-way contracts with the following: the Oling Family Hallam LLC, West Hallam Road and Southwest 2nd Street in the amount of $167.50. David P. Swanninger, West Hallam Road and Southwest 2nd Street in the amount of $280. C, utility permit 2577 with Black Hills Energy for installation of a natural gas line. And D, utility permits with Allo Communications for installing of the fiber for the following: permit 2578 and 2579.
I move approval of the consent items.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4, new business. Item 4A, resolution in the matter of witness fees paid by Lancaster County, which have remained unclaimed for 6 months or more.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4B, a special event permit application from Joshua Bugay with the UNL Cycling Club for a Husker Hundo gravel cycling event race on October 13th, 2024.
Is Joshua here this morning? Please come forward, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here. Just tell us a little bit about your event, what you're doing and what it's for.
Yeah, so in the past, we've hosted Husker Hundo as a fall race to raise money for the club. Club is an official organization within the university, so we have like a bank account of sorts through our financial assistance services. So this just generates some money for that. That goes towards jerseys, club expenses, travel fees, things like that. So finally bringing it back, it kind of got washed away after COVID. First race in like 3 or 4 years. So we're starting off in Walton, Nebraska on Sunday the 13th at about 9 a.m. We're going to start and then traverse through, for the 100-mile route, riders will traverse through Lancaster and Cass County, through South Bend, Elmwood, and Eagle, and then return to Walton. And then the 50-mile route will follow a similar route, but bypass South Bend. We're providing aid stations for the riders throughout Cass County, no aid stations in Lancaster County. Really all we're doing in Lancaster is just the start-finish line is in Walton.
And this is for the UNL Cycling Club.
Yes.
Really appreciate you doing this, and thanks for being here. I would move approval.
Second.
Andrew Barnes, Lancaster County Attorney's Office. So the County Attorney's Office recommends that the board conditionally approve the special permit. Relooking at their insurance certificate, it only ensures that the organizers and promoters of the event are insured, and under our regulations, it requires that an additional insurance endorsement state that the county be an additional insured party to it. And so because your event is going to happen this month, as soon as you guys get an insurance certificate that has us as an additional insured party to that, you'll have that special permit. So we recommend that it's a conditional approval of this special permit with that additional add-on insured party.
I appreciate that, Andrew.
Has that been communicated with the applicant before this, or is?
We didn't realize that on the insurance certificate until late on Friday. So
Okay. I hate it when we do this to people.
Yeah.
I just hate it. It just drives me nuts.
If we knew it on Friday and we're talking about it today. So you understand about the change in insurance that's being proposed by the attorney here, that Lancaster County would be included as insured in addition to you all that are organizing and running the race.
Okay. Yes, I'll probably reach out to you guys later on. Because
That language is something that your insurer will be very aware of.
Yeah.
So if you just say exactly what he said to your insurance company, they'll be like, okay, I know what to do.
It's not a hard thing to get.
Yeah, because I know that the insurance is kind of above me since I can't legally sign anything. I kind of just tell my boss to do all that stuff. But yeah, I'll definitely communicate that to Brian.
here's the ISO, so they have to just plug in that information, and that'll
CG
generate, that stuff right on that.
Okay, so thank you.
Can you follow up with him after the meeting just to make sure that he has everything he
absolutely.
needs?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's standard practice, and it's just, anyway, we appreciate that. We're still in support of it, and I would, based on that advice, I would amend my motion to make it contingent upon receiving insurance coverage that covers Lancaster County.
And my second stands.
Okay. We have a motion and a second, now amended, to include the caveat as suggested by the county attorney's office. Is there any further discussion?
Not at this moment.
Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes, absolutely.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes,
Motion carries.
Thank you.
thank you.
4C, a request for an exceptional circumstance award under Personnel Rule 17.9B for Caitlin Osen, Community Corrections Caseworker, for a one-step pay increase.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Kilpatrick with Community Corrections. I'm strongly recommending that you approve this request. Caitlin has done just a tremendous, outstanding job in her new role as a caseworker, and she has been instrumental in ensuring that there was a smooth transition from her previous role as the lead drug tech into the new person who took over that role.
I would move approval of this. And have you ever seen Caitlin without a smile on her face?
No, no.
She takes that into everything she does.
Yeah, and I read through that, and she certainly does deserve that. So I would second that.
Absolutely. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Other than it's very well deserved.
I'm glad we can honor employees who
Right.
work like this on behalf of Lancaster County.
Right. Hearing no further discussion, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Commissioners, item 4D, a lease agreement with St. Monica's Home to secure 6 transitional.
Second, wait a minute.
Timeout. You were so close.
You thought you were going to get away with it.
I had to run in. Hello.
Do you want to say a few words?
Just how much I very much appreciate this job, and that it keeps me on my toes, and I appreciate everything you and my supervisor Taryn does.
Mhm.
And my dad says hi.
Tell him hi back. No, Caitlin, before you came in, I said, have we ever seen you without a smile on your face? And it's clear that you take your work very seriously. This is serious work, but you always bring such a positive attitude.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you.
Thank you for all you do every day.
Sorry I was late.
Not at all. Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Mhm.
Very good.
All right. Item 4D, a lease agreement with St. Monica's Home to secure 6 transitional housing units located at 105 Wedgewood Drive, Lincoln, Nebraska, for women participating in the Lancaster County Sentence Conversion Reentry Program and provide specialized support services. Cost of the county for all 6 units shall not exceed $157,590 per year.
Commissioners, this is a critical need. Women's housing for individuals coming out of the jail is just so incredibly difficult. And so we've entered into this lease agreement with the goal of keeping it as full as possible.
I would move approval of
I
that.
will second that.
Is this a new program or is this a continuation of
It's a
something?
continuation. It's a new lease agreement. The previous agreement was a different type of contract. When that expired, we decided to go with the lease agreement at the advice of Candace from the legal office.
Okay. And the source of these funds is directly from the county, or is it connected to a grant or something?
From the county, because the grant expired on the 30th of the month.
Okay.
Is that something we'll be reapplying for, Jeff? Or was that always
That-
intended that it was just to
It was
get the
always,
program-
that was the intent, was it was going to end on the 30th of September.
Yeah.
just to get the program started?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We have motion and a second, I believe.
Mhm.
And any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
4E, an agreement with Justice Works LLC for implementation and enhancements to the Public Defender's Defender Data Case Management System. The cost of the county for services is $103,666.
Good morning, Commissioners. Christy Yeager, Lancaster County Public Defender here. When Dennis Meyer was here last week, he had mentioned that we had about $40,000 in a fund. We also have about $29,000 for vacancy savings, and we are currently accruing more. We were down a felony attorney. An attorney 2 left in July. In 2 days, we are going to be hiring an attorney 1, level 1, so there will be that incremental savings there. And also in July, one of our mitigation specialists left because her husband got a job in Tennessee, so we are down 1 mitigation specialist, so vacancy savings there too, in addition to the additional 29,000. We're in the process of looking for another mitigation specialist, but we haven't found anybody yet, so that job is still open in our office. This, as I mentioned last week, is a necessary improvement, a necessary upgrade. There are functionalities in our current Defender data that don't work. Oftentimes we have to double file things with the courts because it's being rejected. We are going to have trouble if we don't upgrade because I can't think of aren't there Microsoft upgrades that are coming up? I was thinking Windows, and that didn't sound right. But we're having trouble with our current system, working with DD as well as working with any upgrade. Some of the attorneys have not been able to upgrade their computer because it won't work with the current DD. So I'm asking the commissioners to allow the Public Defender's Office to sign the contract papers with respect to both this and with respect to item F that we will get to yet about the monthly subscription fees per case. Currently, the fees are $2.40. We tried to talk them down to go back from $2.50 to $2.40. They weren't having it, and at 5 cents per text. It's kind of unknown what that expense is going to be because it's going to be a new thing for our office. So I asked the board to allow us to do that as well.
Well, we had spoken about this, quite some time ago.
Yeah.
And, technology is really wonderful. However, it does become outdated.
Yeah.
And you need to have this, so I would move approval.
I will second that, and I'm sorry you have vacancy savings because I know,
I know,
that
me
it
too.
impedes the work when
Yeah.
you have openings,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we can apply those funds here.
You said it's 5 cents a text?
Yes, and oh boy, the number of characters in that text, it's in the documentation. I can't remember it offhand. I don't know if it's 120 characters or,
I'm sure it's 140. That's
no,
pretty
that could
standard.
be, yeah.
Long story, but those texts, both sides of this program are really, really important here and needed, and I applaud you for taking the steps to get the department up to speed on this area. We talked about this at great length, and I appreciate your efforts here. So, and also your efforts not only to improve and enhance the efficiency of your department, but to be frugal with the taxpayers' dollars. You've done everything anyone could have asked here. So, yeah, this is the right step, and you're to be applauded. So, thank you for all of it.
Thank you all.
Great. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. That does bring us to 4F, the software license agreement with Justice Works LLC for use of Defender Data Case Management System. The cost of the county will pay a monthly subscription fees of $2.50 per case and 5 cents per text. The cost of the county shall not exceed $30,000 per year.
And so I would move approval of this and just say that when I go to the doctor, the dentist, or a movie, I get text reminders of what day, what time, and where my appointment is. And one of the problems we have in the justice system that we are all well aware of is people not showing up for their court cases, right, Christy? And
That's
that's
right.
what this is designed to help remind them and address that.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, what am I trying to say here? For individualized information like a court time or a reservation time, 5 cents per text is a pretty good rate. So
I'll second.
I'm happy with this. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
4G, agreement with Thiel Geotech Incorporated for on-call material testing for county construction projects. The total cost of the county is not to exceed $15,000 for a one-year term.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is for our annual on-call materials testing. With all this construction we're doing, what we're trying to ensure is that we have the correct compaction and the correct densities to our pavement.
Move approval.
Yep, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4H, agreement with Jeremy Holland for County Special Permit 24025 to conduct excavation of soil, sand, and gravel on agricultural property located at South 96th Street.
Good morning, John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is a special permit to operate a borrow site. This is their first one located in this particular area. It's located on South 96th Street, just north of Roca Road. The lines in red show their truck routes. They have signed a maintenance agreement. That maintenance agreement has been reviewed by the county attorney's office and by our office. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if I can.
So this is just the beginning, John,
Correct.
of
It
the
is the
special
beginning of
permit
it.
process
Yes.
that'll go through the,
It's gone through the planning department already. So now we're up to you. This is more for the maintenance agreement that you as a board will need to sign also.
and then it'll still go to the planning commission.
I believe that is the case. I think it has, they're aware of it. There were some things they still have to finish up. There was a couple of drainage questions, which I know they're continuing to work on that we had, but this is one of the processes. This has to be in place before the permit is ever approved
Okay.
by the planning department.
Well, thanks for your hard work on the road maintenance agreement. I move approval.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4I, acceptance of a justice assistance grant from the Nebraska Crime Commission in the amount of $87,031 to support the Diverting to School to Prison Pipeline project.
Good morning, Sarah Hoyle, Director of Human Services for Lancaster County. This particular funding is federal funding that's passed through the Crime Commission. It funds one of our caseworkers for Project Restore. Project Restore is the program that was developed with Georgetown University to keep our youth out of the juvenile justice system. So I would encourage you to sign this award.
I move approval.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, 87,000 some. Second.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4J, an acceptance of a sub-grant award from the Nebraska Crime Commission using funds from the 2022 OVW STOP federal grant program in the amount of $80,429 to support the coordinated response to reducing violence against women in Lancaster County project.
Items J and K are for the same federal grant. It's again federal funding passed through the Crime Commission. It's just that the Crime Commission split the federal grant into 2 separate years, so we have 2 different grants. So that's why it looks like this. It funds 2 county attorneys, partial salary for them in the county attorney's office for prosecution of domestic violence, sexual assault cases. It funds somebody in Lincoln Police Department that is specially assigned to investigate these cases. It also funds a county sheriff, and then it provides funding for advocates at Voices of Hope.
Very good. I
Yeah.
move approval.
Absolutely, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. 4K is the acceptance of a sub-grant award from the Nebraska Crime Commission using funds from the 2023 OVW Stop Federal Grant Program in the amount of $156,253 to support the coordinated response to reducing violence against women in Lancaster County project.
It is so much fun to move approval of acceptances.
Exactly, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Best?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes.
Yocum?
Yes.
Flowerday?
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to 4L, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county sheriff to award a contract to Jones Automotive for supply and installation of emergency equipment for city and county law enforcement vehicles, the amount of $200,000.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum?
Yes.
Vest?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes.
Flowerday?
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 5, public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak in items related to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time. Each speaker is limited to appearance of 5 minutes and time may not be reserved, transferred, or otherwise assigned to other speakers. These time limits may be reasonably increased or decreased by this chair.
Robert Bohr, public servants. Last week, for the record, I shared with you my statement to the Legislative Committee that conducted a hearing on election security 2 weeks ago. Today, I'm sharing 2 follow-up statements to Senator Halloran and Lowe, who sit on that committee. Last week, I sent them this. Senators Chris Walshin, ES&S Senior Vice President in charge of security, lied to you when he told you our tabulators are not configured to capture an image of every ballot. If an image of every ballot is not captured, then they are just making up our election results. In order for our tabulators to produce election results, assuming integrity in every respect, that is, no errors, no malicious software manipulation, no illegitimate voters, every ballot must be imaged and the voter selection marks extracted from that image for conversion into cast vote records onto an internal digital spreadsheet that are added up after all ballots have been scanned and imaged. At least that is how they are supposed to work. Yesterday, I sent them a second follow-up. Senators, here's verifying what I previously said to you from ES&S's own documentation, quoting a 2023 manual covering all of their tabulators. ES&S digital scanners use scanning technology similar to that of a copying machine to create 2 scanned images of the front and back of the ballot at the same time. These digital images are then processed by ES&S's image processing firmware, which creates a cast vote record. The cast vote record contains data from the front and back of the ballot and lists all vote selections made on the ballot. At the time of poll closing or data export, the cast vote records are totaled and to create aggregate results for that ballot scanning device. After the selection, after the election, Electionware imports the tabulated results, machine logs, and images for reviewing, reporting, adjudication, and archiving. Again, ES&S Senior Vice President of Security, Chris Woloshin, sat there in your hearing and flat out lied to your face. Did you require him to take an oath? Woloshin's security efforts consist in nothing more than preventing citizens from finding out the truth about ES&S. The people are the rightful rulers or sovereigns in our constitutional republic. The denial by our legislators, our election officials, and our county boards of transparency and verifiability in our elections constitutes the overthrow of the rightful sovereigns of our government. That overthrow is otherwise known as treason. P.S. The salvation of the state is watchfulness in the citizen, not trust. That not only excludes citizen watchfulness, that not only includes citizen watchfulness over our legislators, but watchfulness in our legislators. No legislator should be allowed to simply trust the word of a private person representing a secret corporation that has been given charge over our elections and refuses to provide any transparency, watchfulness, or verifiability in those elections. For the record, Woloshyn did the same thing to my friends in South Dakota. He bold-faced lied to them about cast vote records and an honest county election official in Minnehaha County, South Dakota, named Leah Anderson, proved him wrong. In conclusion, I share this back and forth I had on Wiltjen's social media with some guy named Phil within the last day. Me, Wiltjen is robbing the people of transparency and verifiability in their elections. Phil, so prove it with real facts, not just an empty rant. Me, I already have. Phil, that sounds like the argument of a 5-year-old. Me, what don't you understand about transparency and verifiability in elections? My soon-to-be 5-year-old granddaughter understands simple addition, and that if you are going to count anything, you have to be able to see it. The only thing that we see the only thing that sees our votes in computerized elections is a computer with secret software, secret hardware. We aren't allowed to look at it. We aren't allowed to look at the paper ballots or the audit logs. Only a fool trusts such a system. Everything hinges on our elections. How can we be so dumb? You let the gal go a minute. I'm going to take 10 more seconds.
No, sir, that's your
They
time.
can only be so dishonest.
You're done. That's your time.
They can only be so dishonest.
Any other members of the public wishing to speak?
Good morning. I'm Dwayne Rauscher. I guess, are you really paying attention to what Robert just mentioned to you? What's really going on? Is there concern at all about our election? Or are we just blind to say everything's okay? Where do we really stand? Do you want to know the truth, what's really going on? Do we want to look at details and find out, is it honest? Is it actually accurate? It seemed like we just speak to you, but yet, where is some action? The thing is, the county election board is part of your responsibility. Where's the review process that needs to take place? I think sometimes we want to just stick our head in the sand and say everything's okay. It's not okay. Not until we actually know the facts and the details of what's going on. That's what we want, is what is the truth? Are we just going to settle back and say, well, it's not my job, that would be too messy, I don't want to do that? Or do we need to actually take a look at it? I'd ask you to take a look at it. Look and see what's actually going on. We've got an important election coming up. Same type of things can happen again. And I don't think our system is very accurate. I think we're told it is. But until it's actually proved, how do we know? Do you have any questions in the back of your mind about what's really going on? Is this really honest election? Are the people casting their votes being able to actually be elected for the offices that the public has selected them for? I want to know when my vote goes in that it's being counted according to who I voted for. So I think we really need to take a strong look at it. There's a lot of things going on in the world. I mean, I hope our county health department is in has enough funding and stuff to handle these amendments that are coming through the state for the abortion to go on the Constitution. Why do we want to put this abortion stuff in the Constitution? That just makes no sense to me. That should not even be there. So I hope people vote no on both of those. The other thing is there's talk about, and I don't know how the county sheriff's involved, but he's part of your process too, with the talk about insurrection going on at every state capitol. I think it's coming pretty soon. There's enough people that have been imported into our country that can create us a lot of trouble. Are we actually paying attention to what's going on? And how can we handle it? Do we need to have public force of militant groups set up so we can handle it? Is the county sheriff actually have enough staff to handle outrage? Will the Lincoln Police Department even react to what's going on? So to me, there's so many things going on. But I guess I'd ask you, let's look at the elections. Make sure those things are accurate so we can move forward with some assurance that what we voted for is actually recorded. Thank you.
Any other members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we can proceed to announcements.
Item 6, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, October 3rd, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, October 8th, 2024 at 10 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on LNK TV. LNK TV is available on Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Last item is adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte?
Yes.
Yocum?
Yes.
Best?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Flowerday?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. We will now convene the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, October 1st.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's open meeting can be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, September 17th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Vest?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes.
Yocum?
Yes.
Flowerday?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions of the tax assessment rolls.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yocum?
Yes.
Vest?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes.
Flowerday?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is our public hearing on the motor vehicle tax exempt applications for City Light North Lincoln Church, Faith Bible Church, Goodwill Industries Serving Southeast Nebraska Incorporated, Community Action Partnership of Lancaster and Saunders Counties, Lincoln Lutheran School Association, and Emmanuel Retirement Communities.
Yeah, sorry, she was just getting up. We will now open the public hearing on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on these? No members of the public wishing to speak? Okay. We will go ahead and close the public hearing and move on to the action item.
Item 4A, the public hearing action items on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I move approval of the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Schulte?
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5, public comment. Those wishing to speak in items relating to County Board of Equalization business and on the agenda may do so.
Any members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none.
A lot of distinguished people here today, but I guess they don't want to speak, so I'll move adjournment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Motion carries. We're adjourned.